Indeed, here's the passage with syntactic slip-ups amended and accentuation added. What is great, folks? It's Beam J back with another video, and this time I need to separate what's the deal with Tesla SPY and several different tickers. I'll separate what's going on with the general market hitherto. What's going on with Tesla is we likewise have a few new titles that just emerged and an extremely enormous test that is coming as I would see it. Before I do this, before I dive into additional subtleties, let me simply notice 2 or 3 things. I'm by not a monetary organizer, so take nothing I say as monetary exhortation. And furthermore, assuming that you all can, kindly look at the Webull Connect, which is down beneath and in the depiction. Assuming you store $500, you're insured 20 free stocks. In the event that you store $25,000 or more, you're insured 75 of them and a deal extremely soon, in only 3 weeks. At any rate, we're seeing Tesla at the present time. Tesla has an incredibly slight upturn that has been regarded for the last day and a half, and presently we're moving toward this obstruction here, exceptionally near this lopsidedness. Tesla is showing some strength that could push somewhat more, however you need to be incredibly cautious as we approach this obstruction. Presently, for now, I simply need to call this out this moment. The purchaser inflationary assumptions are extremely near assumptions, a smidgen over the figure yet at the same time super close at 3%, and the bond barters are extremely close to what we got beforehand. So nothing has truly changed. We truly do have Jerome Powell giving a discourse later on for now, so we'll see what he says and what he winds up meaning for the business sectors. There's very little information coming up for later, yet remember that for Wednesday we have CPI emerging that will be extremely significant, on top of all of this. With regards to news about Tesla, I'm not exactly seeing a lot coming out other than the titles previously discussed, yet there's been a ton of discussed Tesla's net cost diminishes and furthermore the way that their deals are looking. Thus, we're seeing a few titles coming out discussing how Tesla's Model 3 interest areas of strength for is the creation in the US was restricted due to sloping issues connected with the High Country Revive. Also, the Model 3 lost the government tax reduction, which was similar to against Tesla's approval, and the vast majority have hardly any familiarity with the way that Tesla costs have dropped. Now that they're promoting to an ever-increasing extent, more individuals will find out. Yet, I truly do concur with a portion of the focuses being made here, since when you contemplate what Tesla's been doing, Tesla has a ton of extremely fascinating elements, loads of upgrades, and many individuals don't actually acknowledge how a ton of these advantages truly work, since I know many individuals that might have really felt that the FSD was essentially a driving help device, which you see on different vehicles out there. They don't understand that it really drives the vehicle for you. Many individuals don't actually understand that still. And I'm not simply discussing a couple of individuals, I'm discussing a large number of individuals that don't genuinely have a deep understanding of Tesla's capacities. So to me, I simply feel that what Tesla could improve is attempt to get a greater amount of their capabilities and their well-being highlights out there, attempt to promote however much they can to get more individuals included, and I feel that that could be extremely valuable for them since it's tied in with attempting to sell vehicles, yet I think which begins initially as attempting to get more individuals to figure out their item. I believe that will be a major piece of getting more deals they will get going with, only sort of getting individuals more learned first before we wind up zeroing in on anything more. I believe that will be the key for Tesla, that will be the thing prompts more deals. And such during occasions such as these. Presently, with the exorbitant financing costs, that is likewise making things significantly more hard for Tesla. However, essentially as long as possible, having the option to have an item and having the option to promote it in an extremely reasonable design will be much more key for them. With Tesla, there's the present chatter about the $25,000 EV. I believe that will be extremely magnificent for the future. However, we'll see when Tesla winds up reporting this, that will take some time too. Thus, for my private belief, I believe that there is some good faith for Tesla considering the way that we have new declarations emerging for August. Yet, for the present moment, I would in any case be exceptionally cautious since we have a few transient impetuses, for example CPI, that could influence the entire market, including Tesla. From a specialized point of view, we are in fact bullish, making new records all around as of the present moment, yet we're moving toward this imbalanced opposition exceptionally near this $175 zone. We came extremely near it, so we're actually trying that obstruction. We'll need to perceive how Tesla does. In this way, watch opposition as you approach that $175 zone, extremely near it, and watch our help as of now at $172.50.5, that is correct where our EMA is here, our 200 EMA. Assuming we lose this, we could sink as far as possible back down to $178, and in the event that you lose that, search for a drop down to $167.50.5 opposition, watch $175. Assuming you get through that, search for a push towards $177.10 by $177.10 by $180. Presently, from a specialized viewpoint, this is as yet bullish, so it seems to be, regardless of whether Tesla fall a smidgen, could drop it somewhat more from here and retest $172.50, as yet a chance. However, Tesla might in any case attempt to bob and push higher towards this lopsidedness. I truly do see potential for it to go significantly higher, yet be cautious as Tesla attempts to push in light of the fact that their obstruction draws harder as we get nearer to $175, or somewhere in the vicinity. The last time we scarcely separated at $175, we got a dismissal. So be exceptionally cautious. For SPY, it's essentially range-bound. Assuming that you all sort of see this, it's merging at present. We were stuck between fundamentally $518. We dropped a smidgen underneath that prior to getting repurchased up. Thus, $518 has been the fundamental help for the today, dislike each and every snapshot of the day, but rather generally we've been holding about $518. We have opposition at $520 to and fro. Basically the entire day we're simply range-bound. We could like this go into tomorrow until we get CPI, except if we break $520, attempt to push somewhat higher. However, at that point we'll need to see what occurs with CPI that will cause a lot greater move. In any case, SPY is simply totally range destined for now. There's not exactly a ton happening with it. For the QQQQ, it's exactly the same thing. It's been stuck between $440 as help and $442 as opposition, going this way and that and to and fro. One more reach on it has been laid out, and we'll need to see what it does. However, for the present, it's sort of stuck, and I believe it's truly likely we simply stay here until further notice. For NVIDIA, it's on a slight downtrend. It sort of popped to just shy of $892. I was calling $892. We really went up to $890, and afterward from that point forward, it's been dialing back a tad. We're scarcely holding our help at $872 on the off chance that we lose this. I will be searching for a drop down to about $868 in the end, $868 in the end, $862. Underneath that, NVIDIA showing a tad of shortcoming, folks, so watch out. This can possibly drop somewhat more. For Apple's on somewhat of a downtrend too, precisely as we anticipated. Going to be taking a gander at help around $168.25, 5 $168.50, 5 will perceive the way it does. It's been shopping a little yet leisurely downtrending. Our key opposition will be around $169.25, 5 furthermore at $930. As of this moment, it's recently been going this way and that and to and fro, yet that is only for the present moment. For the greater pattern for the most recent few. Furthermore, at $258, we have support right now around $253. That's what assuming you lose. Watch $251. That's what assuming we lose. We turn significantly more negative in any case. We're actually looking bullish on Coinbase. We're actually attempting to push higher, so it's actually holding up. Taking a gander at Meta, we're descending a little. Watch support at $58.50, 5 check whether we get a skip off here. We ought to get a response assuming you lose $518. Return significantly more negative, yet I figure it could attempt to bob off $58.50. Watch for that. Same thing with Amazon. Amazon's holding $185.58, 8. That's what assuming we lose, we could come down to $184.23, 3. In any case, off one of those backings, it ought to bob, so we'll simply need to keep a watch out. At any rate, that is all there is to it for your incredibly speedy intraday refreshes. Tesla is as yet holding up well, showing some life. SPY and the G, sort of reach bound, and different tickers out there are somewhat plunging a little, yet we will be taking a gander at the help to check whether they can attempt to skip. That being said, thank you all such a huge amount for tuning in. Have an extraordinary day. I'll see you all in only a couple of hours to the moon because the long haul is extremely brilliant and harmony out.